Hi, this is the kettlebell version of the Kickstart workout number 2. So we're going to start off with your warm-up. You're going to do 2 minutes, either on a cardio machine if you have one, or you're going to do a 2-minute run, or 2 minutes of just running on the spot, or whatever you want, star jump, something to get your heart rate up. So we're going to do 2 rounds of these movements. The first one is called the world's greatest stretch, and you're going to see why. So we're in a high plank position, arms are straight, the foot on one side comes forward, and on the same side you drop your elbow to the floor as far as you can, at the same time as pushing your knee out slightly, and then rotate up. Five reps that side, put that leg back, stretch that side, 5 reps that way. And then we're going to do 10 wood choppers, 5 each way with the kettlebell. You're going to pick your lightest kettlebell, hold it by the handle like this, start off at one side, rotate it up, 5 that way, and then 5 that way. And then lastly, 10 jumping squats. So you're going to go down into the bottom of your squat and jump. Squat, jump, 10 like that. And you're going to do 2 rounds of all those movements. The cardio bit you just do once, 2 rounds of each of the other 3 movements. Okay, and then your first superset is going to be goblet squats and a 3-point row. So goblet squats, pick a kettlebell slightly on the heavier side. You're going to hold it in that goblet position so you've got a good grip on it. You can do exactly the same thing with dumbbells. Just hold the head of the dumbbell in exactly this position, and then you're going to squat down. I'm trying to keep my knees over my toes so my knees don't cave in, and I'm trying to keep my torso in an upright position. Watch the bracing video, which is also on this channel, to learn how to brace properly. So when I say brace, you know what I mean. You're going to brace your core, drop down, back up, and then 10 like this. And then, probably with the same kettlebell, we're going to do a 3-point row. So, what that means is, we're going to bend over, and we're going to have one arm on a bench, and obviously your 2 feet on the floor. They're your 3 points. And then the other arm is going to be doing the row. So, you can do this on a chair as well, or any sort of raised surface. So I'm in a strong position here, core is braced again, and I'm going to row towards my hip. So I don't want you to be rowing up like this, I want you to be rowing back. So my elbow is going back towards my hip. You're going to do 10 on each side. If you can't find something to put your hand on, you can do the same thing, just in a bent over position. Again, watch the hinge video so you know how to get into this position without bending your back. But it's the same movement. I'm pulling back towards my hip. I'm not rowing straight up and down like this. Okay, and then the next superset is going to be Romanian deadlift and bench press. So Romanian deadlift, again, kettlebell slightly on the heavier side, and it's that hinge movement. So there's all those movement pattern workouts on the channel. I would watch those first, but the hinge basically is bum is going to go back, the weight is going to stay close to my midfoot. So I'm trying to keep as much of my weight over that midfoot as possible. So I don't want you swinging out here with it. I want you to keep it nice and close. I've engaged my lats, and now my bum is going back. I hinge over until I feel it in my hamstrings, and then drive back up. Bum back, hinge over, drive back up, and I'm keeping my core braced through the whole thing. So there's a couple of different ways you can do the kettlebell bench press. You can have one in each hand, or you can hold one kettlebell. I'll show you both. So in each hand first, get them onto your lap before you start, and then as you go back, get them into that position, lay back on the bench, get a nice stretch across the front of your chest. Notice how my arms are tucked in, they're not flared way out like this, they're tucked in. Watch the pushing video on YouTube to get a bit more form advice, and then you're going to press those up, control the way down, press those up. Obviously you can do exactly this with dumbbells. You might find the kettlebell just a little bit uncomfortable on your arm there. If you do, then the alternative is to get one, ideally heavier kettlebell, get it into that goblet position, hold it nice and close to your chest like this, and then press that up. Or you can also hold it by the handles in this position and press up. Okay, and the final superset is going to be a skull crusher followed by Russian twists. So the skull crusher, you're going to be on your bench with a kettlebell. You're going to hold the kettlebell in this position, kind of upside down. You're going to lean back, kettlebell's going to be up here, and you're going to bend at the elbow, keeping the elbows high. Drop that down as far as you comfortably can, and then straighten your arm again. Mind your head, kettlebell down as far as you can, back up. Keep it under control, don't let it end up going like way back like this, because you're going to get an interesting little stretch that you don't really want. Keep your elbows high and keep it under control like that. And the other alternative there would be a tricep kickback. So you'd want to hold the kettlebell kind of on the side handle there, bring your arm up so your arm is bent and your elbow's high, and then kettlebell goes back. So you'd do 10 on each side. Then the second exercise in that superset is the Russian twist. So you're going to be sitting on the floor with a kettlebell to one side. Your feet are ideally going to be raised off the floor. If that's a bit tricky, you can put one foot down and you're going to move probably your lighter kettlebell from one side to the other. 20 in total, 10 in each direction. Then the finisher for the kettlebell workout number 2 is going to be alternating kettlebell snatches for 30 seconds. You can do the same thing with a dumbbell. Then you're going to do 20 reps of kettlebell overhead lunges. We're going to switch the kettlebell halfway, and then you're going to do 20 reps in total, 10 on each side, of a renegade row. So all of these you can interchange kettlebell and dumbbell. Kettlebell snatch, you can either go from the floor or you can go from what they call the hang position. So I'll show you both. If you're not that experienced with kettlebells and you have a dumbbell at home, then you might find this movement easier with a dumbbell. You're going from the floor, and remember, when I pick the dumbbell up, I hinge over. I'm not bending down like this to pick it up. I hinge over. Make sure you've watched that hinge video. So I keep it in between my feet, and I'm going to snatch it up overhead. And if you go at the right speed, it probably looks like it hit my arm. I barely felt it. And then it comes down, back over, switch hands. And through the whole thing, remember to keep that core braced. And remember, you're hinging over to pick up the kettlebell. From the hang position, I'm just going to go from here. So I'm still making the same movement. My bum is going back. I'm getting a little bit of a bend in the legs to get some power. and it goes up overhead, back down, switch hands, up overhead, back down, switch hands, overhead. Okay, and the next movement is going to be 10 each side of overhead kettlebell lunges. So I'd definitely start off with your lighter option. If you find the overhead position a bit challenging, give it a try in that front rack position on one side. But ideally, overhead like this, and you're going to lunge to the leg on the same side that the kettlebell's on. 10 reps that way. Switch arms. And again, same side. 10 reps like that. And then the final one is going to be a renegade row, which again you can do with kettlebells or dumbbells. So you're going to put your weights on the floor in front of you, and you'll get into a high plank position. So I'm on the handles there of my kettlebells. I want my arms straight so my shoulders are over the weight. Get my feet wide enough to support me. And just make sure that you've got a stable base before you lift up that other arm. And again, with the row, I'm rowing into my hip, not directly up, so I'm rowing back. So that's your 3 movements. You can do 3 rounds of that with as little rest as you can.